wanted to talk to you about a great story. It's an inspirational story. It's about an entrepreneur in the Philippines, Juliet Herrera-Chen, and she started a company called Serenitea. And Serenitea is a bubble tea company, and she was only 23 years old when she started this in 2008, and they borrowed $18,000 to start the company. Now, when they started, they sold 6 cups a day, and if you read this article, this is in the Wall Street Journal recently, and now they sell 8,000 cups a day, and so their current annual revenue is $6.5 million. And it's a great story. It's a story of how she started it, and then all the money that she had to borrow, the time and effort to learn about the business, and then setting up the business in terms of how she had to find a location, she had to find space, she had to buy an espresso machine because one of her differentiators was she was doing fresh brewed tea. So you can see here, just like a restaurant business, there's all this cost. You have this building, you have all this equipment, you got to have a sales register, you're training all these employees. I mean, look at her employees and staff. Now, of course, she's opened up multiple franchises around the Philippines, and people recognize her brand. But it's sort of interesting. Now she's got to continue to convince people about the milk tea. So let me talk about the plus and the minus of what I think. And the plus is they developed an expertise. Her husband actually went over to Taiwan and learned the business. He learned how to do bubble tea. He worked in the shops. He studied it. He became an expert. And then what they did was they took that expertise and they brought it to the Philippines, which is a coffee drinking country, and now had to introduce this concept of a sort of a milk tea to the country. And so there's a lot of time and there's a lot of effort and there's a lot of capital required to get that done. But they had an expertise, they had a passion for this business, and they took that there. The downside is when you start a restaurant business, there's a lot of risk in restaurant and starting businesses that way because there's a lot of upfront money. They had to borrow money, and they had to borrow money even through the first year just to pay the rent. They have to buy all this equipment, logo design, shirts, training manuals, cups, refrigeration equipment, espresso machines, table, seating area that's probably not even shown in this photo for the restaurant in their little store. So there's just all of this cost, and you still don't even know if people are going to like your product. So at Empoweredecom, starting an internet business, we've set it up that there's no cost. You set up a virtual store that can be open up to anybody in the world. So you have your niche, and you can share that same type of expertise I was talking about, but you don't have all this expensive upfront costs. You're not buying a $50,000 espresso machine. You're not signing a long-term lease on a location. You're not having to purchase all of this inventory. We teach you how to leverage other people's merchandise sales as an affiliate first as you position yourself, and then you can move into drop shipping, and you can also create your own products. We will teach you all that. So in terms of the cost to get started, for Juliet here to start her bubble tea business, she had to borrow $18,000 to set this up in the Philippines, mind you, right? So it's a very low-cost country, but still $18,000 just to get started versus we're talking maybe $49 to $300 on training just to learn how to set up an internet business, which can be just as profitable. So this is Brian Metzger with Empoweredecom. I'm always inspired by entrepreneurial stories, women, men that have a passion and just take the risk and go for it. And so if you have that passion, if there's something that you have always said to yourself, I want to start a business, I want to get started, I don't know how to do a website. If these things are holding you back, reach out to me. Brian Metzger, you can find me on LinkedIn. You can sign up for a trial. Just reach out to me and we'll see if we can't find that passion and give you that vision for how to set up your business, and you don't have to worry about borrowing $18,000 from your parents or family and friends. We can get you started at a much less cost, and then you can really decide if this is for you. Now imagine if it turns out that Juliet here decided after a year or two that she just didn't have the passion for bubble tea. Well, if she's put in a lot of money to make a decision, she could try to sell the business or not. But when you start an internet business, it gives you the opportunity, especially with the Empoweredecom concept of getting started and leveraging Amazon. You could just try to find your passion and really decide, is it really something I want to really build a business around? And it also incorporates a lot of the key strategies of blogging. So anyway, this is Brian Metzger with Empoweredecom. I just wanted to share the story. I hope you got some value from it. And you can look up the story, Wall Street Journal, bubble tea, Serenitea. So Serenitea, you see that right there, in the Philippines. And just an entrepreneurial story that's always inspirational to people. There's even a nice video that goes with it. So Brian Metzger with Empoweredecom. You guys have a great day. Again, Empoweredecom is my company that provides the platform to help you grow your internet marketing or internet e-commerce business. All right. Thank you very much. Bye.